obviously, like there's still a spot for him, all that kind of jazz, yeah. But if we brought in whether it was a Tenali or if it's someone that's gonna more be a Norgard replacement, you got Rise, Zubamendi, and whatnot. Odegaard's back in his form in that 10. Eze's doing his thing, and Gyökeres is clearly the number one. Or we bring in another striker. Considering that he's got 2 years left on his deal, he's got big wages. Obviously, there's a lot of football and everyone gets injured, but like, what do you make of that? Because I do think Odegaard, who I love, and Kai, who I can, see what you bring. It'll be interesting, not so necessarily this summer for me, but like next, 2027, because of the money they're on, because the squad probably needs to evolve, and because they're key players to our system, and there's probably a need for our squad to evolve. So it's like, I am watching what's going on with Kai and Odegaard in particular. But yeah, what do you say to that?
Yeah, I think obviously not everybody will be here forever. So I'm kind of in the mode of thinking right now that everybody that's kind of been a part of this, whatever you want to call it, for the last 5 seasons or so, I would really love for them to get silverware, because I think that they've definitely played a part even this season. Even if you look back at the players that haven't played a lot, they have contributed to whatever this is going to be. And I think Kai and Odegaard definitely fit in that category.
100%.
At the same time, though, it's like less than their actual playing level is whether or not Arsenal foresee them being contributing enough with also marrying up those injury records. I'm very, very concerned about the two of them. I think they both have been in and out quite a bit. And I do think that there might be a chance that one of them will leave this summer. I just don't know who. If I had to put my money on it, I would say potentially Kai. He's been, the rumors about them not being sure about that knee. And then also, the 2 years left, they said they were going to give him a new deal. Did they ever give it to him? And I just...
Radio silence at the moment.
I think if you had to put your money on, is it, Kai or Odegaard? Odegaard will probably stay another year, and maybe he'll move on the next year, whatever. Because Eze will obviously get more, he'll get more integrated. He'll be, he'll eventually be in that spot. But Kai, I don't necessarily see where he's going to flourish in this team if Gyökeres is prioritized.
Or you bring in another striker.
Because we've been linked to strikers. We've been linked to strikers. We've been linked to players that play in the 9. And so it might not be the worst decision, especially because we know that Bayern will take him. Like Bayern they'll take him. He'll go, so I don't know. One of them will probably go. I don't know which one it is. I still think, one of them will probably go.
If you had to, which one would you sell?
I'd probably sell Kai.
I'm the same. I still. Do you know what? It's weird, yeah, because I feel sorry for Kai, because obviously he's not perfect. No man's without faults, but I do think he's turned up for us when you accept him for what he is. I think he does understand the system. I do think he's down for the cause. And for me, I do think we've done what we've done to Timber and Benjamin White and players of that ilk. I do think we've ran Kai into the ground. He started the season injured. He come back. We injured him again. I do have sympathy for him. I feel both players, Arteta's got to fight against himself. I think it will be a bit of Berta versus Arteta, because if Berta's looking on the balance sheet, whoa, we've just brought in players. You want to bring in other players. There's big wages. We can make these guys kind of redundant. But from a tactical point of view, Arteta loves them. But I'm with you. I think if it came to it, I'd probably move on Kai, because I know he can play a bunch of roles. But when I simplify football, if you were to bring me a Julian Alvarez and you've got Gyökeres, or a Kripke and you've got Gyökeres, you bring in one more midfielder or you leave it as it is. Obviously, there's a lot of games, but you can't really justify the role. I think Kai will play on 200 plus grand a week. Not that I care what people are getting paid, because I'm not paying them, but the squad needs to evolve.
And I think it all depends on how they view Gyökeres. Gyökeres is basically... he's kind of like what he's going to be. He's 28, 29, so if this is the level we're going to get from him continuing on, then you got somebody that scores goals, that holds the ball up, whatever. And then if you bring in somebody else, then Kai, I think he's good enough to do something somewhere else and maintain his German national team spot. Maybe, so I get it. Like, I get it. Not everybody's going to stay the long haul, but I get it. Like, Gyökeres quality is not good enough for Arsenal. Um, but the quality that he's shown in the last 2 games, if that's who he actually can be for Arsenal, he definitely can replace Kai Havertz. I don't think Kai has been so good that it's like he just cannot be replaced. It's just Gyökeres's level was just not, so I don't know. It's a really tough one,
I don't think we're buying another striker, if I'm honest. Obviously, if we're going to do the scouting thing and you're going to find like all of these, we could name so many stars before they've obviously became stars. If you're going to do that, great. But
No,
if we're
I don't.
talking
I think
household names,
we might. I think, but it won't be the type of striker that people think.
this is
It's
what
not
I'm
going to
saying.
be.
Like, I'm not saying
It's not going to be
I
a
don't think we're
Julian
going to get
Alvarez.
Julian Alvarez.
Yeah, like we've been linked to Krupi, we've been linked to Endrick. Those are 2 players that I'm like a young center forward that
I
can
want
also
them.
play on the wing. That to
Yeah,
me,
them kind of things.
yeah, that's with Gyökeres being like a number 9 for us. I can definitely see that happening. I can see Arsenal investing in a young striker that can also play another position.
I'm on that.
Yeah, so love like whoever was a part of the journey, I really hope you get, trophies, because after 5, 6 years, you have to imagine that some of the main fixtures in this team will probably start to, it's
We
coming
have
to the
to
end of
evolve.
the road, like, and things are going to change. So, I don't think Martinelli will be here next season. I really don't. I
See,
think he'll go.
I don't think Trossard will be here. I think they're going to hold on to Nelly.
I
They can
don't
both
think
leave, as
so.
I've said to you before, but I just don't think they're both going. And if I'm honest with you, whether I rate them or not, I don't think whatever I think about these players, yeah, like maybe Kai's not gonna go, but humor me. If Kai leaves, if Jesus leaves, that's cool. Trossard and Martinelli, we're weaker. Like we can bring in a quality left winger, but we got less options. I know we got a couple man that can float around, but if anything has shown us in the last 2 years, bro, we need bodies. And you could argue Trossard might be more attractive because he's better than Martinelli. He's younger. No, he's not younger. Sorry, he's gonna cost less money. Martinelli's younger. He might come with a bigger fee. I just think Trossard might be easier to move on. They might just say, you know what, F it. And I just think the one thing that Martinelli gets over Trossard, not that Trossard doesn't, because he started, is what he's going to do backwards. And Jess, my thoughts. When we start talking about a winger going backwards, we're already in scary territory. I more think Trossard's gone, though. Either one is cool with me, though.
Yeah, I personally, if it was up to me, I would move them both on.
I hear that. I'm not against that.
And buy a star left winger, knowing that Eze can play there, and buy a number 10. Like, I'm over it.
You want another 10?
Yeah, I think we should get another number 10 because Eze, he's great, but sometimes there's games where I feel like he still floats in and out. It'd be nice to have another. There, you can never have enough 10s. Like we don't have enough.
A true daughter of
never, so if you could, I still think Arteta is underutilizing Eze on the left, and if you get there's just ways to move the team around. But for me, doing up the ugly, like which one of Trossard or Martinelli is the least shit this season or least shit right now, it's got to end at some point. But maybe they keep Nelly. That's fine. But you need to get a left winger.
A lot of players, man.
Got to get a left winger. You need to get somebody that can play central, like a Krupi if you want, or an Endrick or something like that. And just do what you got to do. Things will be very different next season, but I'm hoping that it's different with trophies. I think that'll make it feel better.
So what are we doing with Ethan then? Because you mentioned 10 and that, that sparked a question. Like, what we do?
I don't know what Arteta's going to do
with
Ethan, but if it was up to me, I would bring him back. And then I wouldn't want another number 10. Then I would just I believe so much in Miles Lewis-Skelly and Ethan. I think they could save us a lot of money. But I don't know what Arteta thinks of Ethan. He loves the Merino type. And I don't know.
I ain't trying to see them Merino Havertz 10s anymore, man. Don't get twisted. There's 1-2 games you can do that, but dead.
I'm over that, but I don't know. If, like, let's say that Arteta was like, Ethan, you went out on loan. You're going to get a bigger role next season. I would love Ethan to come back into this team. But Ethan being sold would kill me. But
I can't lie to you, Jess. I'm starting to believe that. Like, For what it's worth, I do think all options are on the table. I think he's in a toxic environment at Marseille. That's obviously going to help him learn. But in terms of him just getting first team football and us having this conversation, raw, is he? Why did we let him go on loan? That's obviously a myth. I think he could be sold for profit just because, me and you want Trossard gone, Martinelli gone, this one gone, that one gone. Wanyeri, I can see their beat. You'll probably fetch the highest fee, in my opinion. There's a market for you. They might just say, do you know what? Max is coming through. We're doing other things in the market. We love you, Wanyeri. It is what it is. I couldn't rule out going on another loan. I don't want Wanyeri to be one of them guys that once you go on them loan circuits, you don't make it back. I know, granted, Smith Rowe had what? He would have had 2 loans. He went Leipzig, it didn't really bang, and he went Huddersfield before his opportunity. But I just don't know. And with Wanyeri, kind of what you spoke about earlier, midfield looks packed. The 10 is packed. Right wing, like it or not, Noni's obviously been brought in for X amount of money. Max Dowman's ahead of him in the pecking order, and not to mention Saka. It'd be a shame because for me, I'm like you. I don't know why Wanyeri, Miles Lewis, Skelly, and Dowman, and obviously the young Marley Salmon, for what it's worth, they can't have a short, medium, and long-term future at this club. It'd be not a shame. I know not everyone can make it, but those three can.
Sorry to cut you, but this is the only toxic thing I will say today because it's really not the time. But the only toxic thing I will say is that I never wanted him to begin with, but I really hate that we got Nani because if I had to choose, I would love Ethan instead of Nani. And I like Nani, like Nani's cool, whatever. But Ethan to me added much more on that right wing and can add something in the middle. You're going to have to show me that he ain't good enough to play for this club. You're going to have to show me because you're going to have to
show me Nani's good enough to be here on a consistent basis. Not to scapegoat the guy, but it's frustrating, man.
Yeah, Nani hasn't done enough this season to make me think that Ethan couldn't have added more or, whatever. But it could just be the tail end of it all. But also, I wasn't with the MLS shit. I wasn't with the MLS shit. I wasn't. I was like, people were like, yeah, but he could fetch. There's just some players you don't fetch anything for. Yeah, there's some players that you have to stand on some morals at some point.
They tried to gaslight us, man.
Yeah, I was like, you guys don't have any morals and standards.
Exactly. You ain't got to stand for nothing. Like you actually, especially Miles Lewis Skelly, Wanyeri as well. But I don't see the point of Noni. Don't get it twisted. Before people start being nerds in the chat, I understand why we was brought in. He's an option. I get it. But for me, Arteta needs to show me why he's the gaffer with someone like Noni Madueke, because I still maintain I didn't agree with the petition. I don't think he's a bad player. I don't think he's as bad as people make out, but I haven't seen the bang for the buck. Granted, people are going to tell me 50 million isn't that much in today's day and age. Great. But it doesn't matter if you spend 10 million or 100 million. Anytime you don't see it, it's expensive. And Noni's starting to frustrate me with the defensive task. Like I'm sure against Bournemouth, him and Ben White switched off. Obviously, it came to nothing against Atletico Madrid, so I leave you alone. But you're ducking out of 50-50s. I like you, Noni. But as I said, that's more on Arteta. I don't want to sign any more players, and Berta, please veto any of them where it starts off if Mikel Arteta can. Potential is one thing. You need to realize it. Bro, a man's 23, 24. Am I wrong just for assuming that, one, maybe the penny drops, or two, he's going to play like this for the rest of his career, and he might have some seasons or periods where he's getting goals and doing all those things like Martinelli, but this is it.
Arson said that a player, once they hit like 22, 23, that's basically the player that you're going to get. And I want to say that Nani is 24. Like, he looks so raw. He looks more raw to me than Pepe did when he came in at like, 24. He was like 26 or something when he came to Arsenal. He looks more raw than Pepe to me. More raw than Pepe. I never thought I'd see another raw winger like that. And it's not even this is the only, listen, Nani, I back you. I back you. I want you to do well at the club. La, 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 la. However, this guy is not better than Ethan and does not play enough positions to justify him being in this team over him. He does not play on the left well. He's just kind of whatever on the right. I mean, a rusty Saka looked like the best player. It was like, Nani, do you see this? I don't know. It's the Ethan thing.
He's busy, but he's not productive.
The Ethan thing doesn't sit right with me and my spirit, and Nani being there instead doesn't sit right with my spirit. But
you sell him?
We are where we are.
Do you think he's getting sold in the summer? This lad does. I
No,
don't.
no. That's not how we operate.
Yeah.
That's not how we
Newcastle, one of
operate.
them.
But please, please, club, think about the Ethan thing before you pull the trigger, because we sent him off to freaking, war at Marseille with no food and no water and just let him rot. Like, it's crazy. Like, please go get him. Like, and then now it's like we could have used him because Marino got injured right away.
Such
And
is life.
Nani really hasn't been, if you compare what Ethan did at right wing, his non-natural position, versus what Nani's done. So I can see why people are still thinking about Nani, and that's the only toxic thing I'll say today.
I just don't see what Nani brings to the table. I think it's the bare minimum. And again, I'm not scapegoating the guy. Me and just have clearly given him his flowers. If anything, I'm more angry at Mikel Arteta than Nani, because Nani's showing me what he is. Arteta, you're the gaffer. You've actually, maybe it was a few years ago, but the Smith Rowes of this world, the Bakayos, the Miles Lewis Kellys, the Wanyeris, Martinellis, you've shown me that some of Odegaard, some of these attackers, regardless of what they say about Arteta, they've had their best goal scoring seasons and development under this guy. And I know it's not the same, but Saliba's trajectory, Gabriel Magalhaes' trajectory, even going back to Benjamin White. So I know you can improve, man. You're the coach, 15 mil a year, got a Champions League final, fighting for the Prem. I'm just sitting here in it, talking shit with someone I know on YouTube. So you've got more of a leg to stand on, but you've got to show me something. And I can't lie to you, Jess. I'm at the no more than you very rarely hear me say this, no more than Chelsea boys. Unless it's Cole Palmer, Kai Sader, which ain't happening. Better, less of that, because we could have got Cherky. I don't want to do the coulda, woulda, shoulda thing, and I know it's not like this, but come on.
I'm not doing that. I get that they give us good terms and we want to claw into the shit out of everything, but there's just no way that we should be, unless we're taking their best player, like we've got to get out of this,
Leave it
whatever
alone.
this is. So yeah, but I'm very happy about Miles Lewis Skelly playing in midfield and doing what he's doing. I just think that he adds something. It's not even just about him just being Miles. Like, I genuinely think he adds something that we 100% need in this
Breaks
team.
lines and all of that.
Yeah, breaks lines. He can dribble past. He's, I know people don't like using these terms, but he's kind of press resistant. Like, he's somebody that, can wiggle, through like
Got different strengths
situations.
to the other midfielders.
Yeah, so I'm loving that for him and for us, because Miles is so good. Like, there's
I'm
just
just
no
happy
way.
it's come now, man. Do you think he gets in the England squad?
I don't see why he can't get into that raggedy shithole. No, I'm joking. But yeah, he can. Of course he can. It's what Theo Walcott said, it's never too late. Like, he was in there and he only wasn't getting in the team because he wasn't playing. Now he's playing. And I just don't see why he would not, why you wouldn't want somebody who could play left back, which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, England is a little bit weaker in terms of depth and stuff. And then also could play in midfield and naturally plays really well with your starting six. Like, why wouldn't you want that player? But I also wouldn't be that sad if he sat at home and rested his legs this summer. So, yeah.
I want all the England boys in our squad to go, man. I think going back to what we said earlier, I actually am more optimistic on Odegaard's injury. I'm no physio. I don't know what's going on. But for me personally, I think with the World Cup, I think they're just I think between him and the club, I think he needs surgery. I just think they keep patching up his ankle, because you get injured, miss a couple of weeks, you come back, it happens again, and it's again and again and again. And I think it just is what it is in what's left of this season and potentially the World Cup.
Yeah.
I don't know what post-World Cup means. I am quite intrigued more than anything just to see what next season or the start of it looks like, because a lot of players are at World Cups and all of that kind of jazz. But yeah, man.
Yeah, we got to have a really deep and like strong squad, because the
100%.
majority of our like key players are probably going to go pretty far in this competition. So, but everybody else will also have those problems at the top. So it's not an excuse. But I still think, Berta has some work to do. He has to trim some fat and bring in some players that, can like step in. Because a lot of our players, I think, like Calafiori might be the only one, like, not really that involved.
Calafiori, that's about it. Everyone else has got where he's actually got a chance. Gyökeres is going, Kai's probably going, Timber if it's going, Odegaard's going, Zubi's going, Marino if he gets his fitness is going, Rice is going. We hope Lewis Skelly's going, Saka's going. I think Noni's going, Eze's probably going. Ben White's probably staying. I don't know. He might be able to force his way, but you're probably not going off with England. Saliba and Gabriel, if I haven't made that clear. Raya's going to be there. Why he's not first choice, I don't know, but he'll be there. Hincapié, if I haven't made that
He'll
clear.
be there, yeah.
Martinelli, Trossard. Jesus ain't going. And, well, we hope he's going where Arsenal's concerned. Big him up for fighting my man on the side. That's another thing. Like, Jesus' best actions this season have come where he tried to do a get back on that Wolves guy for what he did a few years ago. And obviously the post-match scenes a few days ago. And I can't lie, Jess, against Atletico Madrid, above everything, call me childish, I liked what I saw from Andrea Berta. I liked the shithousery from him, and I liked what we all did on the side, whether it's Mikel Arteta dummying the ball, either Trossard, Kepa, one of them booting the ball onto the pitch, booting the ball off the pitch. It was nice to do the dark art shit against those shithouses and the way Simeone was conducting himself.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely, when we're in a good moment, I feel like we're all in. Everyone is in, the staff, the ball boys, Mikel, everybody's in, the guys on the sideline, they're all in. Berta, that's my guy. Like, that's my guy. Like, yeah, get time, ref.
Why weren't Edu doing any of that?
Like, yeah, because hello, I love that. And Berta's the guy. Like, he is the guy. I think, obviously, all of his signings haven't been perfect, but I do think he's given us a lot of depth. I think he's totally bought in. I love that. Simeone coming over and pushing him. He was rattled. I love it. So yeah, it was great. And yeah, we do dark arts. And, for a long time they said that we didn't have enough of it. Now we have too much all of a sudden. So I'm not trying to hear anything.
This is it. And even Kepa, you booting the ball on the pitch or whatever you did, I like you off the pitch. I don't like you on it, Kepa. For what it's worth,
somebody said all forgiven, Kepa, and I said not too much, but thanks for that.
No, but Kepa's another one. Like, I can't get mad at certain things. I have to get mad at the manager because I don't know what the thinking was behind Kepa. I know a lot of Arsenal fans like to compartmentalize and do copium, like he was first choice at Bournemouth. He is experienced, which none of these things are false, but we all saw happen in the final. I won't say all's forgiven, but one love for that. One love for that.
But thank you for your service.
And he could become a 3-time Champions League winner. It's mad. We're in a Champions League final, that. If we win the Champions League, I can die happy, man.
You won't hear shit from me ever again. That's the thing.
No one can talk to me.
That's the thing. And if you don't want to hear from me ever again, win some shit. Because all I want to do is be able to just rewatch things over and over again, see the content, and just go off into the you won't hear shit from me.
Never. I just want to be happy.
The only reason why I bitch so much is because we haven't won anything. That's it.
Yeah. And we're close.
Yeah, we're close. So we're too good not to have won anything. That's the T. If we weren't any good, I'd be like, well, what do you expect? But
yeah, but you've got so close. We've won some battles. We've had some great nights, but as we keep saying every week, just nothing's been solidified in history. DJ, are you starting Zubi or MLS for the final? The final's too far away, man. Like, if it's right now, recency bias, the team is picking itself. Like, against West Ham, I don't know where Jess is at. I'll probably go with the same team. The only exception, Calafiori, drop to the bench, Hincapié come in. But yeah, if the final was tomorrow, I'm going with Miles Lewis Skelly. But honestly, I don't really care if I trust Zubi. I trust Lewis Skelly. I think momentum and confidence and all of these things are key things in football, and they're all with Miles Lewis Skelly at the moment. I won't quite say they're with Zubi. So if you were to force me for an answer and look literally 3 weeks in front, I would go with Miles Lewis Skelly at this moment.
I like the look of the subs. I like the look of the subs when they came on. It's a team game at the end of the day, and some of our best performances this season, we've seen players come off of the bench and really play their part. I think everybody basically except for Nani that came on played their part against Atletico Madrid. Zubi was running around, running hard. Odegaard was holding the ball up for us. Hincapié came on and did what he did. Like, he is definitely now, he gives me Tomiyasu vibes so badly. Like, you want to shut down the game, bring him on. So
people are saying we don't need another left back.
Yeah, it's just at the end of the day, we just need to everybody's gonna play a role. But I think to start off a game, because we're doing so well in terms of being able to open up teams and they haven't quite gotten a grip on what we're doing just yet, you have to stick with that group because that group is making it feel like we can score more goals, because we definitely should have scored more goals against Atletico Madrid.
Empoli, as mad as that is to say, and Newcastle, as mad as that is to say.
Yeah. So just stick with what's working. And then, if we're in a good position, rotate to keep people fresh. And let's just 4 more finals, y'all. Like, we're so close.
But so
We're
far
so
at the same
close.
time. What do you think made the go on?
You gonna cry?
Pardon?
Are you gonna cry? Yeah.
What? Oh, football. I ain't crying.
Yeah, you'll shed a thug tear. Come on.
Yeah, I will. I'm trying to act up on the net. I will. I've cried for a lot of things in football, man. I've cried over when Michael Owen as a little kid. I've cried over 2006. I was bawling my eyes out when Arsene Wenger left. I will cry. I would definitely cry. I want to talk to you as well, just like, what do you think's made the penny drop for Mikel Arteta? Because when we lost at the Etihad, right, I did like the approach in the first half. Eze and Odegaard in the team, the man-for-man pressing. As much as we're not perfect, his attacking tactics and the players, I do think against Newcastle was more of a case of us not having the cutting edge. As mad as it is, same
I
thing
thought we
against
were good
Fulham.
against Newcastle, but like you said, we just didn't have
the
cutting edge. I don't know what. Well, if Calafiori is fit, Calafiori plays. So that's why Calafiori came back into the team. Like, that's just Arteta.
You reckon?
That is his person. Yeah. I think.
Over Nkapé?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We needed forwards, and Arteta prioritized Calafiori. That's how much he loves him. So, yeah, I think, and Calafiori is one of the few people in this team where I feel like if he's playing, I feel it for real. Like, we look totally different with him in the team.
I can't lie, he scared me against Atletico. He was making me a bit nervous, man. He was doing some nonsense.
Really? I just think he got tired after like the 60-something.
I like him. You know my thoughts on Calafiori. I like him, but I think it's like going to a casino, innit? You can win big or you can lose. You could lose, innit? I like the fact that Nkapé just does his job, man. At this moment in the season, more Nkapé, man, at the moment.
I feel like the last 2 games, the fluidity and like the forward, like being more aggressive going forward, which has helped us a lot, has so much to do with Miles and Calafiori on that side. They're doing a lot of rotations. It just works. That's not to say that Nkapé adds nothing. He does add something, but he's a lot more, let's call it agricultural. He's a little bit more of like just,
it's safety first. What you see is what you get on the can type of guy.
100%. So I think Arteta is like, if we need something, we need some individuality, we need something different. He adds Calafiori. I'm not like Eze's not really a surprise. He's basically played, like, if Odegaard's not really like Eze's gonna play there, that's fine. What really surprised me is Miles and Trossard, because Arteta has been, doing the front 3 of hell, which is Nani, Martinelli, and Gyökeres. All 3 of them runners, nobody can trap a ball. But all of a sudden, Trossard's in the team again, which he hasn't really he hadn't started in the Premier League.
Calafiori, Trossard, left hand side, man. That was decent.
Yeah, and Miles. So I don't really know, but my goodness, whatever made you think of that, keep that up, because it's just about balance, I think.
And they brought energy.
It's about balance. Yeah, it's simple.
It's it's techie, man, because they brought I feel that's another thing I liked about Arteta, because I think they brought energy. I thought we needed energy. Obviously, you wouldn't have known it in the game, but Atletico Madrid rested players. They obviously brought energy, and I think that's the name of the game. Calafiori, love him. Nkapé, love him. Don't really care who really plays. I just want to play to people's strengths, innit? When we're playing certain games, there's certain game states, as the gaffer likes to say, for certain individuals. So you won't complain from me. And this is the annoying thing. We're so close to, in my opinion, while we need to evolve, having a complete squad. We're so close to silverware. But you know what they say? The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. It's the hope that kills. So what are you saying for West Ham, man?